10.2.7 is crazy. Zalateth claims Yazhar's heart in Pandaria. Finale of Dragonflight. New Harbinger quest. Interest. Guys, remember, we talked about this months ago when all this data mine shit from Pandaria showed up. Multiple things in Pandaria were getting, revamped and redone, and I was like, why are we doing this? Are we going back to Pandaria? As the Pandaria music plays in the background. Underrated expansion, by the way. Are we going back to Pandaria? I would say the answer is yes. And it looks like we're going to follow Zalatesh there. Let's see what Doran has to say here. He's been telling truths lately. Let's find out.
The new patch 10.2.7 is called The Dark Heart, aka the finale of the Zalateth.
Wow, damn, I think he already answered. The Dark Heart. Of course it's Yasharaj's heart. That has to be what it is, right? I didn't even think about that.
The Dark Heart awaits the taking, which will then lead us into the Awakening. Almost certainly, we go to Pandaria in this new patch with this new time-running feature and the Harbinger quest. However, it is so much crazier than that. The new Pandaria book
Would I play a Mist
months
Classic?
ago hinted that the Mantid are back to worshipping Yasharaj after Mists of Pandaria, where, his Dark Heart was, and Kazalgar, the new zone where the Nerubians, the cousins of the Mantid, are, is literally...
Yeah, we're going to an Nerubian Empire, Gridiron Spartan, so it would make sense that we will see the Mantid again. I mean, they are related to each other, most definitely.
Right off the coast from
I thought the Mantid were
territory.
Cool.
Zalateth already went back in time in 10.1.5 and successfully picked up the essence of Galakron,
Mop was your first
the essence of the old god Yogg-Saron. So is she now going to Pandaria to claim the heart of Yasharaj, yet another old god, so that she can finalize the awakening? What is all this?
What happened with the heart? I'm not quite sure. What happened with the heart after Garrosh went and grabbed it and stuff and poured it into the thing? Is it still okay? Didn't it like freaking explode when he dumped it into the well? I guess it's still there, or a part of it's still there. That could be it. I don't know.
With in 10.2.7. If you guys want to buy Total War, Elder Scrolls,
withered away
or
and
any
disappeared.
other game,
That's what I thought.
Get them at great prices with my Gamivo link. You can also get anything Warcraft related, gift cards, and software.
Maybe
and
it's
all the low market prices. Best of all,
still a
if you
piece
add
there or
my
something.
code Doron, you can get an even bigger discount. So make sure
Use
to
code
check out my
Doran.
link in the
There you go,
description
guys.
and get some amazing
Gamivo.
deals with Gamivo. I'm excited to say that the time of content routes may just be over, that all of you guys who played WoW for a while remember. I mean, previously we would have like this 9-month wait and literally nothing would be happening. We would just be twiddling our thumbs and just waiting for the next expansion pre-patch. But Blizzard has literally just gone crazy with the content cadence. I mean, we're getting the War Within release late summer, so probably August or September. 10.2.5 and Gilneas Reclamation will be out in just a bit. Then we're getting this mysterious pirate patch that doesn't have information, so we have to obviously wait and see what that is. Even more interestingly, Season 4 is happening between 10.2.6 and 10.2.7, so it is not the sole content that people expected it was going to be. However, the focal point and the most
Oh, that's right, Gridiron Spartan. That's an interesting one. Zalateth could travel back in time to take it. I mean, we literally see her go into a time portal, basically, with Iridikron at the end here. So yeah, that's very possible. She could go back in time, or alternate timeline, Pandaria, whatever. But yeah, that could be a way to do it, most definitely. Is that she goes back in time, or a different timeline, gets the heart, and does her thing with it.
Interesting thing out of all this new
information called time running,
is the 10.2.7,
Sam. Yeah, it's super possible. Yeah.
Which is
called... Oh my god, time running. Oh my god. Shit. Time running pandemonium. It's not time walking. That's for sure. They would have just said it was time walking if that was time running pandemonium. Now it makes sense. She's gonna do some kind of time travel shit, go back to Pandaria. We're gonna follow her. That's why everything's revamped. People were saying, like, why are the Mogu statues? Because we saw that part of the revamp was the Mogu statues in the front were rebuilt. And everyone was saying, why would the Pandaren rebuild the Mogu statues when they were like, they basically turned the pandas into slaves? And everyone was like, why would they rebuild those statues? That makes no sense. Why would you rebuild the statue of your slave, like the people who, conquered you and owned you? Maybe they're not rebuilding them. Maybe we're going back to a time where they weren't destroyed yet. Oh my god. Now it makes sense.
All the
Jesus.
dark heart, and so far it
That'll
seems
make sense.
incredibly interesting because this would be like the last bit of Dragonflight storyline, and based on what it implies, this is going
And
to be like
Zealotet
the
is coming to Classic. We already talked
pre-patch,
about
so
that.
it will involve Zealotet, all that stuff.
Season of
We'll
Discovery
wrap up all
Zealotet.
this dragon stuff, and then we're going to go into Kazalgar, the War Within, and see what is really going on. Obviously, I mean, as this was just released, the information is lackluster, but that is not to say we don't actually have a ton of information we can tie this with, because this has obviously been foreshadowed for a while. So Troll and Drana Heritage will be happening in this patch as well, I'm guessing
That makes
involving
sense.
Vol'jin, but I think all of this is unrelated to the main storyline, the real deal. That is going to be this Pandemonium stuff and the Harbinger quest. I mean, this is no longer speculation. Harbinger is 100%
Yeah,
Zealotet,
she is the
and
Harbinger.
we are getting quests involving the Harbinger in 10.2.7. However, the first thing is even more interesting. So people were talking, Blizzard misspelled the Pandemonium because Pandemonium means chaos, but this is obviously referring to
Right, it's
Pandaria and
Pandaria,
the
yeah.
Pandaren in this context. I mean, it is obviously misspelled on purpose. The other thing they announced is time running thing, which no one really knows what this is exactly. I mean, time walking has been a thing for quite
Yeah,
a while. but time
I
running
think,
is
like I said, I think if they wanted to be time walking, they would have said that. They're not just playing with words here. This is something different. It's something different, and it has to do with Pandaria.
brand new. If they're doing a play on words with the walking and running, this might be some time-based challenge, adding new gameplay elements, but it could also include time travel like back in 10.1.5. Just take a few
Yeah.
things into consideration, and you will see that this might be the biggest setup for what is to come in the next expansion. The key point here is that the patch is called the Dark Heart, and this 100% refers to the document we got early in Dragonflight called A Song of the Dead. There was setting up Ashara, Zealotet the Harbinger, and essentially the entire plot of Dragonflight and the War Within. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the details, but just look at one single line. After all is done, aka Ridicron doing his thing, the children of the first Flash returning, most likely the Nerubians, a dark heart left broken, then awaits the taking, and when all is complete, the Harbinger will complete the awakening. Now, personally, I'm almost certain that the first and the second feature, the Pandemonium and the Harbinger quests, are connected. I mean, I doubt they would just
I think they are
randomly
connected.
pop us back to
Yeah,
Pandaria
that makes
out of
sense.
all the continents and content we could do and have us do these Harbinger quests on the Dragon Isles, and that is because they had already
Siege of Orgrimmar
set
time
this
walking
up
would
with
be
the
cool.
new Pandaria book that came out about 2 months ago. I got a whole video on that if you want more details on all the lore updates on Pandaria, but let me just tell you the biggest hint. The Mantid, aka the cousins of the Nerubians, have returned back to worshipping Yasharaj. This was hinted at in the book. Do you know what is specific about Yasharaj and Pandaria?
Damn.
The fact that his dark heart was chilling in Pandaria, and that
It's
is
true, man. This has to be it. This has to be it. I think that he's actually Doran is telling truths today. This is a day. This is a new year, 2024. Doran's telling truths. We got it.
What created the trouble throughout all
The
the
Dark
history,
Heart,
and it was
time
actually
traveling to
referred
Pandaria,
to
it's
as
all
the
gonna happen.
Dark Heart of Pandaria. Now, let me just give you another interesting hint. The Mantid, Old God Zone, is all the way on the western part of Pandaria, and the new zone, aka Kazalgar, is located right off this coast. The
Oh, it is? I
Nerubians
didn't know.
live
Shit.
here, Mantid live next door.
Right.
Both places involve Old God corruption. Another interesting fact is that Blizzard told us the Nerubians there are dealing with Old God blood together with Zealotet, and there is obvious Old
gathering
God
blood.
corruption all over Kazalgar. Another bit of a crazy but maybe irrelevant fact is that when Garrosh absorbed the powers of Yasharaj, his
Very
ex,
nice.
Glorhal, was named Zel Atoch, which is oddly too similar
Wow.
to Zel Atat. I mean, just saying it's probably not related, but it does.
The return of Garros. Yeah, Siege of Orgrimmar time walking was confirmed. Nice. Very nice. So this is great. We're going to get a return of Garrosh, Zalatath, going back to Pandaria, Mogu statues rebuilt. Oh, man. I'm excited for
Seem interesting.
10.2.7.
But let me most importantly tell you
Yeah, it was
how
a badass
all of this
cinematic.
makes sense.
I agree.
So I made this theory that
Garrosh was an
Kazalgar is
S-tier
actually the
character.
creator of the new Eluna
I
here,
liked
the
it.
ancient world tree they just came up with that was apparently ripped out by Amatul. You can check out the entire theory for more detail, but there are a ton of hints. Most importantly, the presence of roots at the lowest, most Nerubian layer of Kazalgar. However, what is
Yeah, we'll
relevant
watch
to
them
this
slowly
is that
throughout
Eonar
the
and
week.
Elune planted us upon the biggest concentration of old god corruption in order to attempt to heal the land. Seeing that the heart actually fell in Pandaria and created a whole Shah mess that has been going on for thousands of years, let's just say it's not that outlandish to guess that something else of Yasharaj might have fallen literally right off the coast of Pandaria in Kazalgar, where
we know the Mantid are the Mantid because of Yasharaj's influence. Like all of the bug nations, or whatever you want, bug races, they are what they are based on the area they were in the world and the strongest influence of that old god in that region. So the Mantid are the Yasharaj bug people. That's why they are how they are. So, I mean, it's other than the heart. There could be other stuff there. Yeah, that's true.
Now, let's go back to 10.2.7 and how that leads us into what we are doing. So, two popular raids from Myths of Pandaria, the Throne of Thunder and Siege of Orgrimmar, involved the Keeper Ra, the Titan Keeper, and the Heart of Yasharaj, which could be this new version of time walking. But personally, I think the time running involves actual time travel. I don't think the Heart is still in Pandaria in the current timeline, but it is almost certainly in the past one. Remember, Iridicon together with Zelatat went
time travel or alternate timeline Pandaria. That definitely could be it.
History to reclaim the essence of Galakrond, which we know is in turn the essence of Yogg-Saron, and
Zal's an old god too, just saying. I think you're right.
Obviously has the artifact in the trailer filled with Galakrond's essence. Is she now going for the Dark Heart and trying to get the essence of Yasharaj next so that she can start the whole process in the War Within? Personally, I think it is very likely. Now, this document talked about the children of the First Flesh. I previously stated that the children of the First Flesh are the Nerubians, but they could be referring to both the Mantid and the Nerubians, as, remember, they are the exact same race. It's like the Torn and the Tonka, just different variations. She may be trying to also recruit the Mantid to help her get this heart before she then goes and makes a pact with the Nerubians. Blizzard obviously stated that Zeladat is messing with actual old god blood in the War Within, and, you know, what does the heart actually do? It pumps blood. This could mean she may be trying to connect the heart to the blood in some crazy ritual, or she may have gotten the blood from the heart that she will take,
summoning that ultimate being we talked about.
Of course, it is a little bit too early to say anything for certain, but this patch is going to come out in probably like April, so we're going to learn real quick what is actually going to happen. However, the Pirate Mysterious patch 10.2.6 may even be a setup for this, as if this really involves pirates, it might be a hint for Ashara and the Naga returning, which by all accounts
that's definitely
seem to be
possible.
Working together with
She's
Zelda.
coming back for sure.
Of course, it's possible that the Dark Heart may just be referring to Azeroth and the entire whispers from the past. You know, her heart is a crater, we have filled it, and this could be referring to the entire World Soul thing. However, based on that, we randomly got Mantid hints tying them to Yasharaj and big lore updates to Pandaria 2 months ago. Based on the patch referring to Pandemonium, based on the entire storyline of Pandaria is literally all about the Heart of Yasharaj, and it was even referred to as the Dark Heart of Pandaria in an actual scenario. I'm almost certain we are going to
Mikey,
Pandaria in 10.2.7. We had already seen Iridicon and Zelatat getting the essence of one old god from a time travel scenario, and now we're getting this time running thing. She may be trying to collect all the old god Pokemons for her plans, and all of this seems like a huge setup for the War Within, aka the
she's assembling that giant creature that we talked about, the freaking, I forgot what it's called again, the one with the freaking Hearthstone card, where it literally needs blood and a heart and everything else. I mean, that's probably it. She's probably bringing that freaking Devourer thing.
Pre-patch. Thank you for watching. Check out what is the next class we may be getting in the World Soul Saga by
the
clicking
Ancient
on the screen,
One.
and
Yes.
check out my video on ancient Greek colonies in Spain by clicking on the screen as well. See you next time.
Yep. We talked about it before. This Ancient One thing that she's trying to get, and it totally makes sense that, you know, she's like gathering blood, getting all the pieces, now a heart. The Ancient One Hearthstone. Let me bring it up again, because this is definitely connected. I would say this one's a guarantee, man, at this point. Yes, the Ancient One. Here we go. Hearthstone WoW Wiki. Here it is. The Ancient One. And why is this so related? The Ancient One is an uncollectible minion card. Yeah. Produced by Blood of the Ancient One. What do you have to do? You have to get Blood of the Ancient One. If you control 2 of these, at the end of your turn, you merge them together into the Ancient One. Now, we already know, it's confirmed, that she is using the Nerubians to gather blood. Right? And it was a very interesting comment made by Doran that what do you need for blood to move? You know, to circulate it? A heart. she could be working on not maybe getting back Yasharaj or bringing back the old gods, but she could be working on bringing back the ancient one. All connected, boys. All connected.